must not let anyone define your limits.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. My name is Rod and welcome back to Impact TCG. And you know I got the spicy Emerald Steel deck profile for you guys. And I have actually been doing very well with this deck on Pixelborn. And I'm actually 11-4 with it right now. That rounds out to a 73% win percentage. But this deck right here, guys, it's aggro. It's straight aggro, emerald and steel. It's so fun to play, and I've actually been beating several of the top decks with this list. Getting into the profile, we got 4 Captain Hook, 4 Enchantress, 4 Flynn Rider, 3 Robin Hood, 4 Cheshire Cat, 3 the Prince, my tech right here, and we're going to talk more about Cheshire Cat. 3 Tinkerbell. Now just to stop right there with the 1s through 3, we're playing a very heavy aggro package. We're trying to get characters out onto the board, questing for lore as fast as we can, while also controlling our opponent's board, dealing damage until we can get to our big guys. Now to continue, we've got 3 beasts. I like to call him Gargoyle Beast. He is actually another tech of mine right here, and you guys will see how this deck works. I mean, we're just constantly trying to deal damage. We've got 4 Sad Beasts, maybe the best card in the deck. Being able to draw this easy in a steel package, we needed this card. We needed this. 4 copies of Beast Relentless. This card, love it so much. I mean, you're questing for 4, 6, sometimes 8 in a turn. It's kind of crazy being able to get almost half your lore off this card, or even just a quarter of your lore, racing to get to your 20. 4 Giant Tinkerbell, always been a good card in the game, still really good right now. 3 copies of my other tech, Cheshire Cat. Okay, so we got some people that think this card is bad. This card is not bad. It can be bad if it's not put into the right deck. You're not playing the right ratios, but I think this ratio right here with the 4 little Cheshire Cat to the 3 big Cheshire Cat from the shadows, I think this is a perfect ratio. I've tested at several different ratios, and this seems like the one that's been working like a charm for me. On to the actions, we've got 3 Smash, and that's actually our only soul action. Now this card gets over Amethyst and a lot of that bounce engine. Very good card to have in the deck. And then we go on to our songs. We've got 3 Let the Storm Rage On, 3 Strength of a Raging Fire, 3 A Whole New World, and 3 Grab Your Swords. These cards are just going to constantly deal you out damage, and A Whole New World is going to help you keep up with those decks like Ruby Sapphire that like to draw a lot of cards, because you run through cards in this deck really fast. That's why Sad Beast is very helpful in times like that. And A Whole New World comes in clutch, especially if you're up lore, which typically you are up in lore most of the game, so you can, you know, take the risk with Whole New World, reloading on your resources, and it works out just fine. But that's enough right there of the deck profile. Let's get into some matches. All right, guys, so this first game right here, I'll actually be going first in this matchup. You see we open up with a lot of high cost cards. Now we really want to start with our low cost characters so we can get lore very quickly. I mean, Captain Hook's the only 1-drop we're playing, but it's good to have. So right here, I go ahead and decide to ink the Beast, Relentless, and pass right there. I don't want to play the Captain Hook right now. I like to kind of hold on to some cards to keep some card advantage in my hand. I draw into the Baby Tink. And right now I go ahead and ink the Captain Hook, and I'm going to play a 2-drop, which is the Enchantress right here. She's going to bring me 2 lore next turn, pending that she actually stays on the board. But yeah, that's all you want to do with this deck. Is quest as fast as you can. And you can see our opponent, they inked and play the Felicia. She's got Rush and Reckless, so we have to be mindful of that. I really don't care about that right now. So right here, I think very hard about, do I want to ink this Enchantress or do I want to play it? But I decided to just play the Cheshire Cat instead. I mean, the willpower is a little bit higher in this situation, and there are some repercussions for destroying him. And right here, I kind of think about, do I really want to quest? Do I care about my Enchantress dying? I really don't right now. I take my 2 lore, that's fine. I mean, she's going to get rid of Felicia anyway. Totally fine with me. My opponent is inking the Mickey Mouse. They did do that. And they dropped the Maleficent right here, and they get their draw obviously off that. Now, when I'm playing against Amethyst, I usually think about them singing cards like Friends on the Other Side. When they get to sing that card for free and they get that card advantage, it's very annoying. But I ink and I just quest with Cheshire Cat, and I go ahead and opt to pass. So my opponent plays Arthur. Now we all know what this card does. He's just gonna quest, and then when he quests, you get to bounce another character and gain 2 more lore. So he basically gives you 3 lore in 1 turn, and they like to do that a lot with Maleficent to constantly get that draw out of her. Now I do have the big Cheshire Cat, so I'm thinking about that already as a part of my game plan. I did draw into the Grab Your Swords, and I actually decided to go ahead and shift into the Cheshire Cat. Now shifting into an 8-cost character like this turn 5 is very powerful. I absolutely love Cheshire Cat from the shadows. He's evasive, very hard to get over, especially this early in the game. Go ahead and I quest for 2, and I pass my turn back. They draw. They've got a lot more cards in their hand right now, but I'm feeling pretty good. I have the Whole New World, and I know the Whole New World is gonna really get me where I need to go, or that's usually how I see it when I have it. Now he goes ahead and he quests with the Maleficent and the Arthur, and he's basically getting 4 lore right there. That is insane. And of course he's gonna play that Maleficent again to draw the card. I mean, why wouldn't you, right? Just draw. Now he plays the Madam Mim, and he bounces the Arthur back to his hand, so Arthur is no longer exposed. I end up drawing into another Whole New World, which is okay, not necessarily ideal, but I also have Sad Beast. But I have so many other options, and I feel like my hand could be a little better in this situation. And ultimately, I do go ahead and decide to just ink the beast and sing Whole New World with Cheshire Cat, resetting both me and my opponent's hands. And I have 6 lore and a fresh new hand to play with. It actually feels kind of good. I feel good about the game state right now. Believe it or not, I actually hate Whole New World. But hey, in this deck, you kind of got to play it. It's pretty good. We run through our cards so much. And I go ahead and I play a Tinkerbell. Now my opponent starts to flood the board with the Pinocchios. This is when cards like Grab Your Sword come in handy a lot. Like, it deals with a lot. He inks that Maleficent. It's fine with me. Do your thing, bro. Flood the board. Yep, all of that is getting wiped out this turn right here. And you'll see right here, I'm just gonna sing Grab Your Swords and wipe his board. And yep, I go ahead and I activate that for free. Didn't know who I really wanted to sing this with, but really in this situation it doesn't matter. It really didn't matter at all. But I go ahead and choose the cat. He's safe. Cat in this situation is safe from even Maui. Maui can't swing into him because he's not evasive, so I really don't care. And even if he wants to swing into Tink, I really don't care about that either, because Maui's not gaining him any lore or advancing the game state. I go ahead and quest with Tink, and I play the Flynn Rider just in case, you know, that big bad Lady Tremaine comes. She basically forces the opponent to banish a character on the field. And even though I know he might play whole new I'm sorry, not whole new world, but I'm having a brain fart here. Be prepared. My goodness. And you see he goes ahead. He actually does summon that Lady Tremaine. But luckily for me, I opted to play the Flynn Rider just in case that happened. And of course, it's an easy decision in that situation to banish the Flynn Rider. And I still have my big cat and my big Tink. For some reason, he swings into Tinkerbell with Mini. Didn't make any sense to me, but I'll take it. If I were him, I would have just gotten the last little lore that I could out of the Mini. But not my problem. I quest with the Cheshire Cat and quest with Tinkerbell. I've got a handful of cards, 6 ink, about to be 7. I actually don't think I opted to ink this turn because I kind of wanted to keep my hand full. But I pass back to my opponent, still ready for a Lady Tremaine play. He summons the Madam Mim, bounces the Lady Tremaine back to his hand. So I did know in this situation that I need to continue to play as if he had the Lady Tremaine in his hand, which I did. He summons a Madam Mim, he bounces that Maleficent back to his hand right after drawing. It's kind of crazy. And at this point, he really can't do anything else. He passes the turn to me. This hand it's very aggro. I could really flood the board. If I was playing against anything that's not Ruby or not Steel, I just don't mind just slamming the board with all my characters and being very aggressive. But not going to do this in this case. I just opt to play the Enchantress. And then right after the Enchantress, play Strength of a Raging Fire just to get rid of the Madam Mim. We don't want him to already have characters on board to bounce back to his hand. Make him use all those resources. And we go ahead and just quest for 3. So we're at 15. And we actually have lethal right here. But this was a surprise to me. He Dragonfired me. Now, I haven't seen Dragonfire in many lists at all since Lady Tremaine became a card. But it was good in that situation. However, it's really just not going to be enough. I've got full control of this game. I draw into a prince. My pretty little tech right there. But I am still very careful. I have to survive another turn if I want to win. Not trying to get smacked with Be Prepared. But even if he does, hey, it's all good. I don't care. I've got enough cards in my hand. I feel comfortable. I go ahead and I quest for my 3, and I have lethal on board once again. So now he has to deal with my characters, and there we go. he has to be prepared. I did not care at this point because, hey, if he's got another one, he's got another one. But I'm about to put something on board here, like a Cheshire Cat, and this is going to win me the game. And then I also have to think about the Lady Tremaine. Don't want to get beat by that. I almost forgot that she was in his hand still. Like, he quests with the Pinocchio. That thing quests for 3. It's kind of broken. He's just very weak still. Can get over that so easily. He does get his 3 that time. You see, he does play the Lady Tremaine, and the Robin Hood, of course, takes the fall here. But there's absolutely nothing that he can do. Cheshire Cat is gonna quest for a game right here, and that's gonna be that one. Okay, folks, let's get into game number 2. I'm actually going second in this one. I actually prefer to go second, especially with this deck. I personally like having that extra card in my hand. I don't care. I like card advantage. I feel like card advantage wins in games. Now you can see right here, I opened up 3 Beast Relentless. Just too many high cost cards right here. So I opt to put all of these back to see if I can get some smaller things going in my hand. And I do draw into a Prince, Tinkerbell, Cheshire Cat, and a Gargoyle Beast. Whenever I draw that big Cheshire Cat early, I very much so tend to ink it. It's not doing anything for me in the early game, so off to the ink well it will go. And of course, I don't have my own Captain Hook to play here. Otherwise, I would have, but that's fine. I pass back to my opponent. He inks a Benja and plays Prince Eric. So we have a field of challengers right here. That's okay. Nothing too threatening right now. I don't feel like I have to catch up. So I don't think it was a really hard decision right here. I did think about it for a little while, but I opted to ink the Gargoyle Beast and just play my Enchantress right here. So I can look to get 2 lore out of this turn. You know, they are playing steel, so I was a little weary about cards like Let the Storm Rage On, which could easily pop it and he'll end up drawing a card, but it's okay. When I am playing against steel, I want them to use all of their damage cards early. Just get them out of the way. If you're gonna come across them, you may as well make them use them early so you can plan to take over the late game. Now this is the one I realized that he was playing Emerald discard with this steel variant right here. So playing Hypnotize, making me discard the card. Luckily he doesn't have a Prince John on board at this time. I draw into another Cheshire Cat. I decide to ink that. And at this point, I determine, do I want to play the Tinkerbell to set up for the big team play, or just play my spicy little tech right here, the Prince, and just exert him to protect my Enchantress. So now he has to commit 2 characters into the Prince just to get to my Enchantress, and I'm still questing for 2. So that is how we start to get ahead in the race, folks. He inks a Cheshire Cat. Plays a Mother Knows Best, bounces my my Prince. That's fine. He does attack into my Enchantress, but Enchantress takes down Captain Hook with her, and he'll quest for his 1 with Prince Eric. Now I don't feel threatened at all right here, but I also don't want my opponent getting up too quickly, because that's my game. That's what I'm supposed to do. So I'm definitely going to limit that for my opponent. And I'm actually, I'm just going to play Smash right here to get rid of that Prince Eric. A lot of people might not agree with that play, but I have more cards in hand than he does. And we're just going to reset the board and go from there. Whose board's going to be better? And since it's basically already turn 4 and I haven't played the baby tank, it's okay. I may as well go ahead and ink her And he does play Cusco, the Emperor himself. I draw into another Prince. And I think right here I went ahead and decided to just play the Beast. This made the most sense, obviously, in this situation, especially with the card advantage situation. We want to draw as many cards as we can. Now, he is on steel. He can produce some damage on that Beast to keep me from drawing cards. And he activates Hypnotize once again, making me discard. You know, I'm not getting rid of that big tank. It's too good. He draws his card off of it. It's kind of crazy how that deck works. Thank goodness he didn't have a Prince John right here, or this game might be looking very different. Kind of got lucky in this case. Now, I don't know why he attacked Captain Hook. Maybe he was just afraid of it doing so much damage to the Cusco. But he probably should have just quested for 3. Maybe that was the smart move, but I mean, it really doesn't matter. I draw into the big Cheshire Cat. No point in having that in my hand. I'm going to ink it and definitely play my Tinkerbell right here. My Strength of Raging Fire does nothing because, you know, no touchy, no touchy. But Tinkerbell does do 1 damage to Cusco. Totally fine with me. And I'm always weary about questing with the Beast, especially when I want to keep drawing those cards. He is playing steel, so you might be thinking like, why you even take the chance? Just quest with him. He's going to deal some damage. Now, as my opponent thinks about what he wants to do, that's right, he does end up playing Mother Knows Best. He inks another Benja like he did earlier, and he quests for 3. All right, that's fine with me. I actually drew into the perfect card in this game right here. I went ahead and just sang it, even though he was up in lore, and we do want to catch up. I just feel like it was just too much value right there. I get to get rid of a Cusco and still play my sad Beast to draw some cards next turn. I'm holding on to that Strength of a Raging Fire because I'm afraid that it might come up and I might need to remove something or do some damage to something. I'm just holding on to it right now at this point in the game. He plays a Captain Hook and he plays a Cheshire Cat. Not afraid of this at all. This is actually really good for me. And you see I draw 2 Beast off Beast. Power of the Beast, baby. Let's go. And in this situation, I couldn't decide if I wanted to play another sad Beast or just go ahead and get my Relentless questing ramp going right here. You guys will see the way you can get so much lore off of Beast Relentless. It's kind of crazy. It's kind of like, what were they thinking when they made this card? You're going to see this card put in some work this next turn right here. My opponent's over there reading those beasts like, man, these cards are crazy. I just know it. But he swings into Tinkerbell again with Captain Hook. But he does that to play his Ring the Bell. I think Ring the Bell is a very underrated card right now. I've actually been testing it out myself, but it's not in this current build. But I feel like it's working just fine. Now, he does do damage to my sad Beast, and he quests for 2. So I won't get the draw. But at this point, I know I'm going to get a lot of lore from Beast Relentless. It's just about the order that I think I want to do this. I go ahead and I quest with Beast. And I remember, like, I couldn't decide on if I wanted to just play another Beast, do some damage to get some lore, but ultimately I do end up opting to use the Let It Go to ready my Beast again. And I drew another Beast off that, and I gained some more lore, and I thought this was a okay time to do this. Just clear his board all together just so I can get some more lore. And you can see Beast Relentless produce 6 lore in that one turn by himself, and that was able to put me up significantly considering the state of the game right now. He's top decking, only drawing a Benja. This is not going to be good enough. and we start to get to the point where I begin to run away with the game. I play my second sad beast and I quest for my 4, play my Flynn rider, pass it back to him. Now he's basically got to get rid of all this if he wants another turn, but you're gonna see it's not much that he can do. Drawing Hans does nothing in this situation, and that damage right there raid my beast again. But it doesn't matter. We have lethal and we don't have to do anything. We still get our draws, which is nice. But we'll quest and we'll take the game with Sad Beast. Alright everyone, so last game that I want to showcase you guys. I'm actually going first, and this is actually against Amber Amethyst. Now, if you haven't been paying attention, Amber Amethyst won, I think it was GalaxyCon. Yeah, Amber took both events that happened over the weekend. I think GalaxyCon was the location that Amber Amethyst ended up getting first place, surprisingly. So the meta is really wide open. If you're creative enough, man, you can beat anything. Just play your deck right, play a lot, get a lot of testing done. I end up inking and passing, and my opponent inks and plays a Maleficent biding her time. So he's already got 2 lore on board right there. That's okay. We'll deal with that later. And we're gonna just play our own quester for 2. And my opponent ends up inking a Madam Mim Fox. So I would assume she probably has another in hand. All he decides to do is quest for 2 and play a Simba bodyguard. That's fine. We end up questing with our Enchantress, inking our beast Relentless. Yeah, very important part of our deck and strategy, but we have other ways to win, and it's kind of early, so I just go ahead and ink him and play my own bodyguard for myself. So I'm pretty much just matching his board. However, mine is just a little bit better, considering the Prince has resist, and Enchantress, when she is swung into, she'll take out low willpower characters. She gets 3 when she's challenged. And he does decide to go ahead and quest here and not swing into anything. Makes sense for him. Totally fine with me still. I do not feel threatened or anything until he played that Pinocchio. Forgot about that. Oh yeah, and I do end up drawing the Smash. Now I remember here I couldn't decide if I wanted to just go ahead and use the Smash on the Pinocchio. However, I did decide to just go ahead and just use my beast, which made a little bit more sense. I could have set up for a giant Tink play here, but I can't have that Pinocchio just out here questing for 3. Like, no. So I just say screw it. I ink the Tink and I play the beast and I pop the Pinocchio. This is one of the most valuable times that Gargoyle Beast is good, when you're playing these small aggro decks like this and you can just pop them with 1 damage, especially those high questers. He questing for 3 is just insane. He inks, which puts him at 4. He goes ahead and he quests his full board again, putting him up to 8. Plays another Pinocchio, so I'm just like, my goodness, dude, let me breathe. He bounces his Maleficent to keep her from being exposed. Lucky for me, I have 2 Smash in my hand, drew into 1, but I definitely go ahead and ink 1. I always ink a Smash if I have 2 in my hand. I just say screw it and I use Smash on the Pinocchio. We're not finna have him out here questing for 3. You just can't have it. My deck is aggro just like yours, but I have to keep pace. We gotta keep pace. Can't let you get too far ahead. I go ahead and I quest with the Enchantress, And I actually think I end up questing across the board. No, okay, yes, that's right. I did decide to just swing into the Simba to get rid of the body. And questing with the Prince and Enchantress in the same turn, just getting 4. It's just so good. It just makes the lore race so much faster for you. It's very, very easy to get up. Like I said, very important going against those Ruby control decks. And he decides to flood the board a little bit. He put out Arthur. This is a lot of lore. A lot of lore. This was, let's see, 1, 2, 3, possibly 4, 5, 6. This is possibly 6 lore. If he was able to keep this board state to his next turn. But of course, you know, Big Rod's not gonna let that happen. We're gonna get rid of some stuff right here. I'm gonna ink my Flynn Rider. Perfect card to ink right now. Don't really need him. I'm definitely gonna play the Tink, and the Tink is going to blow up at least the Maleficent in this situation. Totally fine with me because I've got lethal on board. Yeah, he can get a lot of lore next turn, whatever, but I've got lethal. He's got to deal with something. He's got to deal with something if he doesn't want me to win. If he wants to survive. Situations like this, a whole new world in my hand. I just know I'm not playing it at this point, especially when I have the card advantage. It's just no point of playing it, and I'm up so much in lore. Now, he plays the rabbit. If that rabbit was a goat, you know, this game, you know, probably could have ended up a little differently. But not really, because he still would have had to get over so much on my board. But he goes ahead, he summons the Pascal, which he drew off of the Merlin Rabbit. He swings right there. Totally fine with me. I still have lethal. I think he goes ahead and swings into my beast with his Arthur. No, he swung into the Enchantress. Okay, yeah. But I do draw Let the Storm Rage on. Kind of a perfect card in a situation like this. It's an easy play right here. Pop that Pascal. He's got evasive. Boom, bye-bye. That's the problem with all those low-cost characters that Emerald play. But he basically sees the writing on the wall and calls it there. Guys, I've had so much fun playing this deck. I really hope you enjoyed those games. It's actually the first gameplay I've recorded on the channel, so you got to see a treat. Hey, we're looking to getting bigger and getting better, but I can't do it without you guys. Please hit that like and subscribe button. Help your boy out. We're trying to get to 500 subs as soon as we can. Thank you for everyone once again who have been supporting. Check out our last video in the link below in the description. Thank you guys so much, and don't forget, whatever you do, wherever you go, always make an impact.